Okay, wow, this movie is sexy, gory, and creepy, all mixed in the one movie, and I loved every single minute of it. But is A24's X the best horror film of the year so far? Let's talk about it in this spoiler-free review. Before we get into this review, make sure you slash that like button down below, and if you do, I will give you a big ol' kiss on the lips because I love you. X takes place in the late 70s following a group of people making an adult film in the middle of Texas. But when their elderly, reclusive hosts catch them doing the nasty, things take a wild turn for the worse as they have to fight and try to survive this crazy situation. A24 is more known for their stylistic, artsy approach to movies. They're the studio behind The Lighthouse and Hereditary. Those movies can be classified as elevated horror, which is a term I really don't like to use. It kind of sounds snobby and high class. It kind of puts down other horror movies for no reason. But to my surprise, X pays more of a homage to the grindhouse movies of the 70s and early 80s. It definitely reminds me of Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Friday the 13th. X is filled with gory, great kills, a lot of boobies, and a lot of wieners. I don't know about you, but I don't think I can name a better combination. Even though this movie follows the slasher template to a T for the most part, it has underlying tones and themes about sex through different generations and how we view our bodies and our sexualities. Definitely some tones I did not expect from this movie, especially from watching the trailer. It looks like a straightforward slasher if you just watch the trailer, but it has a little bit of weird underlying things that you wouldn't expect from this movie, and I liked it. It was unique. It was something different that just wasn't, your simple slasher. They added a little bit something extra in there, which I thought was pretty cool. Something that is usually a problem with horror movies, and slasher movies in particular, is the characters. They are usually just stereotypical teens waiting to get killed off one by one. But X makes you feel something for these characters. They all feel like real people, and they're funny and they're sweet and you care about them and you don't want them to die. Jenna Ortega continues to kill it in every single project she does. Kid Cudi is actually pretty good in this movie. I haven't really seen him as much as an actor. I'm more familiar with his music. And we also get Brittany Snow in this movie. It's really good to see her again. I haven't seen her in a movie in a while. I'm just upset I didn't get casted in this movie. This mustache was made for this film. For all the gore hounds out there, you will be satisfied. There are some gross, nasty kills in this movie that just make you squirm a little bit if you're not used to seeing a lot of gory stuff. This isn't for the weak stomachs out here. Yeah, definitely do not buy a hot dog from the movie theater while you're watching this movie. Maybe just stick to popcorn and soda. Do not eat a heavy meal while you're watching this movie. You will regret it. X is so unique because it does the unthinkable. It balances passionate lovemaking sprinkled with comedy and also really gross imagery. All three things you think would mix together and make a great movie. Ty West, the director, succeeds at mixing all these conflicting tones in the one film. Ty West also does a great job at using cinematography and certain shots to build suspense. He uses a lot of wide shots, and the cinematography, I cannot say enough about it. I am a cinematography whore. I am a sucker for great camera work, and this movie definitely is so beautiful to watch. I am in love with the way this movie looks. If you love weird, crazy slasher movies and you are nostalgic about movies from the 1970s, I think you will really like this film. The only negatives I have for this film is that I felt like it was a bit too long. If you shaved off about 10 minutes of this film, it would flow so much better. And the ending wasn't as final as I wanted it to be, but I did find out that they were actually making a prequel to this film that was already shot and it's ready to go. And this film definitely has a lot of potential to become a franchise, which was something I did not expect from this movie. Do me a favor, do not watch the trailers for this movie. It doesn't really portray what the movie is actually about. It only portrays a certain section of it. It definitely is a slasher, but it also isn't a slasher. It's weird, man. It's so hard to make a spoiler-free review about this movie because it's just so unique and different from what I thought it was going to be. But I loved this film. I'm going to give X a 9 out of 10. I'll tell you, once the second act to this movie kicks off, it's just a wild, creepy, gross roller coaster of a movie. This is what the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie we got a couple months ago should have been. It should have been this movie. I think those movies definitely mesh very well together. Sorry I couldn't get into much details. It's just the trailer for this movie is so vague, and I don't really want to spoil anything. I don't want to be that guy. And this movie definitely gets creepier and weirder as it goes on. So yeah, just be surprised and go into it pretty much blind. It's really fun. I love this movie. I'm having a spoiler live stream this Saturday talking all things spoilers about this movie, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you won't miss that. And I have a lot of more movie reviews coming on the way, so yeah, make sure you're a subscriber. That would be awesome. With all that being said, I will see you beautiful people in the next video. Peace.